Good morning, YouTube. Today is March 13th. I am on my way to my 7th NUCCA adjustment. Welcome back to the series, discussing the NUCCA chiropractic adjustments over at Balance Wellness and Chiropractic in Colorado Springs, as well as my Atkins diet. A few interesting things have been happening to report. Let's see, I am recording, yep. In the last couple days, I've been noticing some pain on both sides of my neck that have kind of been starting behind my ear and going down my neck. Kind of a radiating pain that's been causing some headaches. What I figure that's going on there, and I'll check with Scott, but I'm pretty sure he'll agree, is I wasn't sure if it was another ear infection starting up, which incidentally I started another round of antibiotics, which, by the way, those of you who aren't familiar out there, you can get antibiotics without going to a doctor by looking up antibiotics that are intended for fish. Like, I'm currently taking a round of Fish Phlox Forte, which is the same as Cipro or ciprofloxacin or whatever you call it, just in case I do have another ear infection. That way I knock it out before it gets dangerous again, since I burst my eardrums a few months ago based off of an ear infection. But either an ear infection or what's more likely, or it might be both, because of the fact that I've been having these adjustments and everything, and my body's been going back into alignment in different ways. There's never anything on the radio in the morning. Anyway, ciprofloxacin. Okay, so I was talking about what's more likely is it has to do with something myofascial or muscle-based, because I've been finding, and Scott's been guiding me through this, as he's been doing these adjustments, and all of the ligaments and the spinal sheath, you know, and all that stuff has been being stretched out and put back into alignments and encouraged to sit in the correct position again. Then my body has been readjusting on both sides. That's why he encouraged me to avoid, as I'm starting to feel better, just jumping right back into exercise and stuff for the first couple weeks, because it takes my body a little bit of time to adjust to being adjusted and suddenly having to deal with gravity affecting my body in different ways because of going back into proper alignment. I have been suspecting that these have been healing pains, in the way that as my neck has been going back into alignment, other areas of my neck have been having to compensate for the weight of my head and gravity and all that stuff, and so it's been causing muscle strain. And I pretty much confirmed this by a couple nights ago. The first night I started having these pains, I took some ibuprofen, and a half an hour later the pain was gone. So that tells me it was inflammation, something myofascial. So there is that. That's interesting to note. You know, that stuff does happen. I guess that's healing pains associated with the body getting back into realignment and having to have the muscles be strained in different ways while they're getting back to the way that they're supposed to be. Okay. As far as the diet, interesting stuff about the diet. I've been kind of hovering around 235. I've kind of plateaued around 235. 234, 235, I'm kind of fluctuating around there every day for what feels like about the last week, which is odd. It could only be a result of a few things. Since I am in ketosis, my body is using my fat cells as a source of energy. So the reasons why I could not be losing weight is either from not being in ketosis, having some sort of false positives, which I hear is possible if you're drinking alcohol, but that's only when you have a small amount of liquor. It might throw off the readings for ketosis, apparently, on ketone strips for maybe up to 12 hours until that alcohol is metabolized. But I don't think that's it, because I'm drinking inconsistently. So, you know, I might have a martini or a scotch or something some night, but it's not very much, and it's not every night. Another possibility is that the meat and fats and stuff that I'm eating while in ketosis add up to a number of calories to where it's a calorie surplus, i.e. eating too much. Now, I doubt that's it, because I'm eating very, very little during the day. Usually at lunchtime, when I get hungry, I'll have like a can of chicken or something. And I have these beef jerky strips that I found that have no sugar in them. That they're these small strips of basically pressed meat. They're not even tough like real beef jerky, and I'll just kind of snack on one or two of those every once in a while. Otherwise, for breakfast, I'm either having leftovers from dinner for last night or nothing, or just like snacking on that beef jerky, one or two of those little strips. And for lunch, I'm either having the can of tuna or not having anything, continuing the grazing, or going out to a restaurant for lunch for work, and ordering a carb-free type meal like at Village Inn. I've been having them make me 4 eggs with a little bit of cheese and 4 bacon, or like a 6-ounce sirloin with 4 eggs, something like that. And then for dinner, my girlfriend cooks me a nice Atkins home meal, which has something to do with being mostly meat, very good meat, with a little bit of low carb, high fiber vegetables, like maybe a little bit of a spinach or seaweed or mushrooms or something. So I don't think it's a case of calorie surplus. And then there's always the another possibility too, is when you're losing fat at such a low rate like this, and a pound to 3 pounds a week of fat, depending on how fast it's dropping off, which it's been pretty slow for me. My business has also gone into the season to where now I'm doing a lot of extra physical activity, starting with last week. So I could also be putting on muscle at the same time. So that could also kind of offset things. I have noticed that since the diet started, even though I'm kind of hovering over having lost, 14, 15 pounds of overall weight, my waist has decreased 13 inches. So there is that. But so things to talk about today was healing pains and what could be causing diet stalling, when you're dealing with Atkins ketosis, Atkins Induction. So, almost at Balance Wellness and Chiropractic for my 7th adjustment, but overall I'm feeling very, very good. Everything feels to be falling into place. My energy levels are a lot higher, which I attribute to both the diet and the chiropractic. I have been very happy with the chiropractic so far. I feel for a long time I've been kind of held back on being physical, on stretching, exercising, just kind of being a physical presence, just kind of running around doing physical things instead of just being a slug. And that has a lot to do with all those symptoms of being out of alignment and all that catching up to me and becoming chronic, and everything hurting whenever I did try to do anything, all that nerve damage and stuff getting in the way whenever I would try to get physical again and get active and exercise and stuff like that. So I'm feeling like more powerful. I'm feeling like I have more energy and explosiveness behind me, and I'm not hesitant to just like jump and do something physically active, or even exercise, or even start stretching again. I had a great session of stretching night before last that was a lot more aggressive than I've done in I don't know how long. Feels great, and I'm at the point now where I've been doing these NUCCA adjustments enough to where I can start exercising again. So I'll be implementing an exercise program of plyometrics, and I have a treadmill at home, and maybe even designing something for my family to do in the mornings as a family, outside. So I'll keep you posted. So this is the end of, I'm about to take my 7th NUCCA adjustment, and I'm still, I was 235 this morning, so the lowest I've been is like 233.9, and I'm fluctuating all over there. So we'll see if maybe I can kick it back in there by, I mean, now that I'm on the antibiotics, I'll stop taking alcohol for a while, so that it doesn't inhibit the ability of the antibiotics. So we'll see if that might make a difference with kick-starting the weight loss again. I'll also start exercising again, so burning the extra calories and stuff might make a difference, although I'm sure I'll be putting on muscle there too, so that might be a bit of a wash. So we'll see what happens. Take care.